When we think of health, energy, and longevity, normally we think of oxygen. You have hyperbaric oxygen chambers, EWOT, exercising with oxygen, you have breathing masks. So oxygen is essential for life, yet we don't store any in our body. Have you ever wondered why? Everything else we store, such as fat, carbohydrates, protein, and even CO2. In fact, we store over 100 liters of CO2 in our body. The reason is that oxygen is very reactive. Normally we think of CO2 as a toxic waste gas, but it's really CO2 that is like the protective wings around oxygen. It protects you from the reactive oxygen species, the ROS, the peroxynitrates, the hydroxy radicals, etc. CO2 is actually nature's way of getting O2 to our cells. You think about you working out your bicep, you're producing CO2, and that CO2 is a signal to your body to get more oxygen and nutrients to the working muscle. So CO2 is opening up the blood vessels, the vasculature, the capillaries. So oxygen without CO2 actually creates more vasoconstriction, so your organs are actually getting less tissue perfusion. Higher levels of CO2 is necessary for oxygen to be released from the hemoglobin into your cells. You have 100% oxygen saturation, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the oxygen's getting to your cells. If you think of oxygen therapies, it's more pushing oxygen into the cells, while CO2 is actually pulling oxygen into the cells, while at the same time protecting you from the toxicity of oxygen and the reactiveness of it. These are some of the immediate benefits. Another immediate benefit is that it causes you to breathe deeper and faster. CO2 is the stimulus to breathe, so you can breathe deeper and faster when you're breathing CO2. And by doing this, you're creating this diaphragmatic pump in your thoracic cavity, which is pushing blood to your tissues and organs. It's getting more blood flow to all of your tissues in every exhale. And when every inhale, creating this vacuum that's pulling lymphatic fluids and the venous blood away from the tissues. So through this process, you're enhancing all of your cells while cleansing your cells from toxins and metabolic waste products. This can only be done with extra CO2 as it opens up everything while allowing oxygen to be delivered to the cells. Long-term use of this therapy will increase your CO2 tolerance, so you will naturally retain more CO2 and be more resilient to stress. When you work out, you'll breathe less and you'll have more endurance. Most people notice immediately that improves their sleep as well. Long-term, it also increases the microvasculature, which tends to deteriorate as we get older. It'll help create new capillaries, repair senescent ones. One study showed that CO2 was actually more effective in creating angiogenesis, the creating of new blood vessels, than exercise when compared side by side. The same study showed that it increased mitochondrial quantity and quality even more than exercise. So just CO2 breathing practice can have many benefits, can have many of the same benefits of exercise. I had a bodybuilder last year who trained for Mr. Olympia, and he ended up winning the entire thing for the amateur level. He used Body Stream suit every day after training, and it reduces inflammation and recovery from workouts, so he could train harder. Some of the benefits of CO2 therapy are increased vasodilation and microcirculation, better oxygen delivery into the cells, more mitochondria and improved metabolic function, reduced inflammation and oxidative stress, activated lymphatic and venous flow, enhanced tissue repair and angiogenesis, nervous system calm, and improved breathing mechanics. It's easy to do, anyone can do it at home. All it takes is 5 or 10 minutes per day. I have one sitting at my desk at my office. I breathe for 5 or 10 minutes when I'm feeling stressed or need a mental boost. When you elevate the levels of CO2, it actually increases the blood flow to your brain by 75 to over 100%, depending how much you breathe, and it'll increase the amount of oxygen that actually gets to your brain cells. So I recommend trying CO2 therapy, as it has a lot of the same benefits of the oxygen therapies without the downsides, such as the reactive oxygen species, and it's more accessible.